Today we are joined by the Powder Room and Stagger Leah for round 2 of last year's shoot. Do you remember the duck tape shoot? And today we're gonna do something scarecrowy, let's say. They're doing makeup, so let's go check them out. Don't say that.
I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Don't look it up. You don't want to know. Go for a covert mission. She needs some nails.
They're disgusting.
Anywho, so we're gonna go to Shoppers in downtown London. And it's gonna be funny.
I want a dirty look. Give me a dirty look.
I think it's more than the pirate shirt. Pirate fashion's gonna be in. It's gonna be really cool.
I don't want to be a pirate.
We're gonna go into Shoppers, and then I'm gonna be like, do you have any makeup remover? So do you have any makeup remover?
Plenty.
Are you dabbing?
Yes. It's Jaina, man. She got me into it. Thanks, Baldikins.
Jaina. That's you, Jaina. The Beanie Boos. Do you have any sharp nails?
No, we don't have any like pointed sharp ones.
Well,
There is a Halloween section. I wanted to get this crow mask. It opens.
It opens.
Oh my god. How much is this?
I can't. Oh, I was like, what is in there? It's your hand.
Ooh.
He went like this. So many sinkholes.
They call this sinkhole de mayo.
Good one.
Okay, so what's happening right now is we're exposing, this is what it looks like normally. We're exposing for the super highlights. And we have a flash right there, which is shooting red right into her face to bring it back.
Tell me when you're ready.
So we got our model behind us, and this is what's going on right now. So basically I need more leverage, so I'm gonna use this ladder so I can go higher. And by going higher, I could see a lot more of this area. Whereas I'm lower, I lose that area. That area being between her and the wall. So as you can see behind her, and then bam, we got a lot more area now. Wind! So the photos are already cool as they are, but if you want to go the extra mile, let's play around with double exposure. What you're gonna need is 2 photos. Drag the one photo on top of the other photo, and you should have 2 layers, one layer on top of the other layer, just like that. If you play with the fill or opacity, you can kind of see what it will look like, and that's like the old way of doing it. But honestly, this is so much easier. Click on the top layer and then screen, and that is it. It will do it perfectly. You could choose other things like lighten or maybe even overlay. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But in this case, screen is the best. If the photo doesn't line up perfectly, you can resize it, but careful, if you make it a little bit small, the edges are gonna just cut off dramatically, so you don't want that. So it's actually safer to go bigger, because when it's bigger, you have more freedom to move it around. Here's another example of this one lying down on top of this one. Now, these are pretty close, but look what happens. If you select screen, you can see the dark red layer has the hair of the white layer, if that makes sense. And I can move it around and make the hair the focus, but then the faces are kind of weird. And I got that weird line at the bottom, so I'm not going to do that. So again, let's resize it, make it bigger. Now we have a bit more play and versatility. You can move it around. This is all up to you. There's no rules on this, but generally you want to just focus on one thing and then make it the focus of the picture, if that makes sense. The main thing is like to avoid those corners like you just saw. And just move it around until you like it. That's pretty much it. You play with the opacity. Like in this case, the white door, the white floor is a bit too strong, so you might want to bring it down. Whatever you're happy with. This is all up to you. It's all subjective. There's no rules on this. And in this case, I wanted to be a little bit more ghost-like, so whatever, that kind of works for me. Now, the pictures that work the best are the ones of like a close-up face and then the whole body. And also what works best is having something really light on top of something that's really dark. So we're going to use her face and all the details therein to be on top of the black bodysuit. As you can see, when there's light over light, it gets a little bit complicated. So you can start a layer and just erase some of that. Just a mask layer. I'm just drawing with black right here. So that allows me to see through the top layer so you can see what's behind the layer. And you can see in this little area right here too, this red under the jaw, the chin, that's a bit distracting too. So I'm just gonna erase the top layer so I could see behind it. And also the eyes are a little bit weird. There's like some weird artifacts in there. So we're gonna erase that, erase the hair. We don't want hair in the eyeball, that's kind of weird. So just make it come out a little bit more. And yeah, and it's looking okay. Once again, it's a double exposure. You could play with this as much as you want. You don't have to follow my rules. I'm just showing you how to do it, and you get to play with it. Now, cool things are like her little fingers there. There's one in the eye that kind of looks weird, but the other fingers are kind of cool because they're grabbing the shoulder, but also grabbing her like little cheekbones over there. And later on, we're going to zoom out, and you can see the bigger hand is also grabbing her butt, if that makes sense. So this is the little hand because it's like the farther away image. And you see that line is kind of like not really helping there. And we're just going to erase it a little bit. There, you can see the bigger hand grabbing the butt. I kind of like that. So yeah, in the end, it's all up to you. Just grab one picture, throw it on top of another picture, make 2 layers on top of each other, select the top layer, and then screen. And then from then on, you can move them around. I know this is typically done with a close-up face and then like a city skyline sometimes, and that's been very popular. Like, that's kind of overdone a little bit. So this, if you just have 2 pictures lying around and you're like, oh, these are okay, but they're not strong on their own, just combine them and see what you come up with. So yeah, that's Mr. Man's mashup double exposure tutorial. I hope you liked it, and subscribe for more, because we're gonna do something else with this photo shoot, because I didn't mention this, but I didn't edit any of those photos. Those photos are all straight from the camera, or straight out of the camera. So in the next episode, I'll explain what I did exactly in this shoot and in the newest shoot after that, which is a bit witchy, to just skip the editing altogether. So if you're down with that, make sure to subscribe, because we're going to release that episode next. Bye-bye.